guys, don't go anywhere. We're fixing to put a custom carpet kit that we made in this custom Ford Bronco. All right, guys, I'm back at it. I'm putting down the jute padding in the Bronco that we cut and sewed up the custom carpet for a few months back. So check that video out and you can see me making a pattern and cutting the carpet for this truck. Now we're gonna put down the padding and then we're gonna put down the carpet. It's gonna look good and we're gonna put the seats in it. Almost finished. Well, there's a couple of good things about this. The Bronco floor is flat, no curves or anything. But with it being flat and trying to get this jute padding to fit tight, we do have to make some cuts. So that's what I'm gonna do now, is go ahead and make some cuts and get this padding fitting tight. And then we'll glue the padding down and then we'll glue the carpet down on top of that. All right, marked out around the shifter boot. Let's go ahead and get that cut out. All right, got one side done. Now we got to do the other side. All right, got all that cut out. Now it's time to glue this down, glue the seams where we cut it and pieced it together. It's in 2 pieces. And then we'll test fit the carpet. All right, now this carpet has been cut and pieced and sewn together. We're going to test it now to make sure that it fits good with the padding. And it all has to be glued down and the wrinkles will come out as we steam it. So let me get the other side and stretch. Still got to tuck some wires. I wish I hadn't balled it up in a ball like I did, and it wouldn't have all these wrinkles in it. But now the glue that I use is the same glue that I use when I'm spraying the foam on the seats, and like if you're going to put a vinyl top in. And that stuff is awesome. You can stretch and do all the stuff that you need to do and it'll hold. Let's take a closer look at this. Yeah, don't mind the wrinkles, they'll all come out. I'm just looking at the seams where I sewed the carpet together to make sure that they fit now that I've put the padding underneath it. And I'm really looking to see if it's loose, because if it's short on the seams, that's perfect. I can stretch and glue. Now we're going to glue down the carpet. And I'm not going to glue down the jute to the floor yet because I've still got to tighten the body bolts down. They're tight, firm, but they can still tighten up a little bit more as I work on my body gaps because everything on this truck, sheet metal, has been replaced. So what I need to do is the glue that I use, you can see that tip right there. It's a Landau top glue and it is air activated. So what we do, we spray both sides. Once it dries and tacks up a little bit, you can touch them together and it is locked down for good. It's very, very hard to pull apart. So what we're gonna do is spray the carpet and the top of the jute and get our seams lined up that we sewed, because this carpet comes 72 by as long as you want it. So I usually buy a couple of yards and I cut and do what I need to do. This carpet doesn't come with a backing on it so that you can use it for other things. Some guys use this as for headliner. It's awful heavy for a headliner, but it will do the job. You can also use it for a lot of other things too. All right, let's start gluing this up. Quit over talking it. What do they say? A picture's worth 1,000 words. All right, I don't want to get too close to the dash. It is controllable. This is a super cheap Harbor Freight Central Pneumatic suction paint gun. Maybe $20. It lasts a long time. And then you can keep the glue in it too, overnight, over a month, or even over a year maybe if it's sealed good. We're gonna give this a little bit to tack up. We'll start gluing it down. All right, so when you start gluing it down, I only do one side at a time. I'll do this side first, and then I'll do the other side. I can't do both sides at the same time if I wanted to. But when I start doing the other side, I can actually start stretching it and forming it. And you can see how I'm pulling it, how tight it's getting. Maybe you can see that, maybe you can't. We want a wrinkle-free job all the way around though. Remember, we only glued about that seam right there. So now once we get the tunnel done up here, we can go back and flip this back over and glue the rest of it. All right, we got way up in there under the dash. Go heavy on your seams. That's where you want to try to pull to. Pull to your seams, get everything tucked in. We'll get this section right here done, and we'll come back and glue the rest of it. And then we'll move to the other side. All right, got this section glued, waiting for it to tack up. Just wanted to remind you, you don't want to get this glue on anything that is paint sensitive. It comes off with acetone really easy. It'll rub off, pardon the expression, but it'll rub off like a booger if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, then it's really hard to get off. So be careful on your overspray. Now, because we didn't glue down the jute yet, it all peels up really easy, and now the carpet is kind of formed. We had already formed it by cutting and sewing the seams, but by gluing it to the heavy padding, it's very, very close to what a factory car would look like. And not very many people put carpet in these old Broncos. They put the rubber mat. And I tell you what, the rubber mat, well, I'll just keep it to myself. Got half of it done now. You can see how it's laid in different directions, so it looks splotchy with the sun coming in. Good news is where we got the overspray is going to be trimmed off right there, overspray of the glue, so I don't have to worry about getting it off. It'll be trimmed down to about right there. And then we'll put a strip. We're going to make an aluminum band that goes right there that we'll probably cover with the some dark blue or dark gray upholstery that I've got, so that'll look really nice. Kind of resembles the factory trim. And then you can see how all the wrinkles came out. And it'll even get better when we glue it down to the body, if we decide to do that. We may leave it just like this, and that way if anybody ever needs to take it out to clean it, it'll be easy to get out. Once you glue it down to the body, it's going to be tough. And it doesn't serve much of a purpose. Like right now, look at there. It'll go right up. The body's been seam sealed all over and sprayed with the bed liner spray, that textured spray that you see right there with the body color. So, all right. Well, let's go do the other side. All right, there we go, guys. It needs to be cleaned up, adjusted just a little bit. But now I'm ready to make my patterns for my kick panels. Got one made on that side, you can see it. Got to get that one down. Make one for this side, get the kick panels done, and get the seats in, or get the seat in. Get it bolted down, and there is no provisions for the seat bolts yet. Not even sure how I'm going to do that because it's got new floors in it. But yep, just one bite at a time. Then we got to make some type of rear panel, possibly, to go there. Depends on what it looks like when the seat goes in. I may just leave it all painted on the back side. All right, what's next? All right, here we go. I've got it most of the way cleaned up, most of the way vacuumed. So let's go around and let's check this thing out, and let's look and see what the next step is on the flooring. All right, so this is a template that I've kept from a previous job. This is going to be the floor mats for the Bronco. I'll make this out of aluminum, and then I'll put a bend in it, and then I will cover it in the same material, and I may put an edging around it like I've done in the past if I can come up with a color that matches. I don't know if I want to use the material that was with the car that we did on the seat, but we'll sew up something and see. So stay tuned for that. All right, so since I put the carpet in and the padding, I've got to make some adjustments on this kick panel before we make it permanently. I need to trim some off of the top, and then we'll go ahead and redo these holes. If I trim it off the bottom, it's not going to fit the curvature of the door jamb. So let's trim some off the top and then remark these holes and go from there. All right, so my 70 Bronco kick panel, I've got right hand and left hand by just flipping it. And I'll write an R on the back of one and an L on the back of the other. And I'm using this little birch plywood right here. Should be fine because I'm going to do a little trick to it and put some speakers in it. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and it really works best if you use wood. This is also another cool product to use. It's ABS plastic sheeting, and it also comes in a 4x8 sheet. And I can't remember, I think it's 1/8 inch, and then I've got some 1/16 inch. The 1/16 inch is very wavy, where you can see this 1/8 inch here holds its shape pretty good. But now this product right here does heat up and slightly bends when it gets hot. So you got to be careful where you use it and how you use it. So for what we're going to do with the speaker pods and stuff, I'm still going to use the plywood, and I'll show you why later. But I thought I'd show you this ABS. It's textured on one side to where it holds the glue and material, and on the other side it's smooth. All right, now we got a right and a left cut out, and they both fit. So next step is to decide where we want to put our speaker. Make sure we have enough room in the car, and get it done. All right, got both kick panels sanded and got them installed. Now I've got to think about what I'm going to do, because the speaker deal that I was going to do may not work on this one because the brake pedal, the emergency brake pedal, is in the way. Over there, we're clear. And the pods that I was going to do were going to be aimed towards the driver in an angle and then fiberglassed in. So we may try to find a different spot to put the speakers, and that'll save us a lot of work on these kick panels. So all right, here we go. I know I had you guys going on the first part of it. It looked pretty bad, but I promised you a good ending on the carpet anyway. So there it is, all trimmed, ready for me to make some type of ending strips. And we've got one floor mat mocked up, and I got the kick panels in. Still don't know what I'm going to do with the kick panels yet as far as an upholstery design. I was going to put speakers in them until I realized that it was going to be really too close on this side over here to do it the way I wanted to do it without cutting into the Bronco's sheet metal, which I'm not going to do. So I do have the void under the seat over there, and I do have some room behind the seat that we'll try to do something with a Bluetooth radio. Stay tuned. Hey guys, as always, thanks for watching. And if you're through watching, then get out in the garage and go build something. Or head over to the website and get yourself a new t-shirt and support the channel. See you on the next episode.